Surfer is someone that can go to an area that they've never surfed before, do a full ocean assessment, understand what equipment they need, what the water is doing, and go out there and ride it properly. Because they have stepped out of their comfort zone, they have tried the same things in multiple locations with multiple conditions throughout different times of the year. That makes a good surfer.
Yes, that was the voice of Gee Cormack from Chix Surf School. She is the guest in today's short episode, another coaching concept episode. If you want to hear a long form interview with Gee, you can go back to episode number 22 of the show. And if you want to see or find out more about Gee, it's Chix Surf School. That's CHIX Surf School on Instagram and .com.au. And we enter the conversation just talking about the common mistakes of surfers. And here is my conversation with Gee. So with looking at that intermediate experienced surfer, what are you seeing the most common, the second most common?
I think key things with an intermediate surfer is not reading the wave properly. That's a really important one. Really not reading the wave properly. And secondly, not generating speed in a controlled way that allows them to do the maneuvers that they're aiming to do.
Okay, so what do you mean by not reading the wave properly?
So as I said before, a lot of people when they're doing their surf check do a basic surf check. Checking the wave size, checking the winds, checking the tides. That's what we always try and teach for a beginner. But as you become an intermediate surfer to an advanced surfer, you need to refine those skills and understand, okay, if you have onshore wind, how is that going to affect my surfing? How do I need to angle the board that I'm on? How hollow is the wave? The timing of the wave? How strong those winds are? So really alters the way that you surf a wave. And then depending on what equipment you're on. So, you can't just do a basic surf check and then try and figure it out once you're in the water. You've got to really pre-understand the sandbanks that you're on, the undercurrents and what's going on in the water, what happened the previous days, what's happening the next few days, and then matching the equipment that you're on, your skills, with the conditions of the day. So many intermediate surfers are trying to go way too vertical on waves that aren't vertical waves, because they can't ride vertical waves because they either can't pop up fast enough or they're not angling their board to stay ahead of that vertical wave, which is very fast and running sideways very quickly. So don't try and mimic vertical turns on a round wave. You're going to bog your rail. Really common thing with an intermediate is that they bog their rail in their turns.
Just overdo it.
Yeah, and they're focusing on turning instead of generating speed properly. So they're turning when they don't have enough speed, or they're trying to get too vertical on a turn on a wave that doesn't accommodate for a vertical turn. So that's where I say mix matching the conditions of the day with actually their skill set. You've got to make sure that you're reading the wave properly. The wave tells you what you need to do, and you need to pull from your library of skills and go, okay, well, this is my library of skills. This is what I can and can't do. This is what the wave is actually telling me to do. So that's what I need to do on a wave. Not going, all right, today I want to work on re-entries. Yeah, I just want to work on re-entries. Getting down there, you've got a fat, weak 2-foot wave. You're not going to be doing re-entries on a wave like that. So, okay, maybe work on your roundhouse turns, or, cutbacks, or speed generating, or whatever it is, work on something different. Not just going, this is what I want to work on, so that's what I'm going to do out in the water. That's the board I brought down because that's my most responsive board. Maybe get on a fatter board,
Yeah, so managing expectations.
Yeah, really understanding as an intermediate surfer, you have a bigger library of skills, and actually drawing on that library of skills and being knowledgeable when you're in the water. If you're not on the board that you're normally on, it doesn't mean that it's not going to benefit your surfing. Every single time you go on the water, if you are on the right equipment, whether I'm a shortboarder and most of the time I'm on a longboard, but I'm doing things on a longboard that is still productive for my surf fitness, my timing on my waves, my understanding of the equipment that I'm on in the type of wave that I'm on, and also it refines my skills when I'm back on a shortboard.
Yeah.
So, so I think that's a big mistake for intermediates, is that they're on the wrong equipment for the wrong surf, because they're honing in and trying to focus on one particular thing.
And it's usually people overdoing it as well. It's very rarely underdoing it.
Yep. And refining your skill. Actually refining the skill so that the things that you are doing are done properly. So there's a thing I like to say: minimal movement, maximum energy, not maximum movement with minimal energy. You don't want to be that paddler that paddles for every wave and gets nothing. You want to be the one that goes for 2 or 3, does 2 or 3 strokes and gets everything. With less movement, it's refining your skills. You're still paddling, but it's how you do it. And that's where intermediates need to start to do those sorts of things. I mean, surfing, you have a forever changing environment, and no day is ever the same. So to have an expectation, of a particular thing is, most of the time you're going to get let down. You need to be able to go to the beach and go, okay, well, what is it telling me to do? So that when you do go out there, you're actually working with the water. You're not fighting against it. And that's not saying don't have goals. People go, oh, so what? I shouldn't have goals. It's like, no, you should definitely have goals, but those goals need to be achieved in all conditions, on all equipment, not just in one condition. It's like people that go, oh, I only surf at this location. That's great. That doesn't make you a good surfer. A good surfer is someone that can go to an area that they've never surfed before, do a full ocean assessment, understand what equipment they need, what the water is doing, and go out there and ride it properly. Because they have stepped out of their comfort zone. They have tried the same things in multiple locations with multiple conditions throughout different times of the year. That makes a good surfer. But a lot of people aren't willing to put the time in because surfing's so bloody hard. So...
You know what they say, no one's born to